Hello, everybody. And hello, welcome, players. You are now audible to the world. Yeah. I'm just gonna. Yeah. It's nice on the old. It's nice on the old title screen. It's a very calming. Actually, I'm just gonna bring us. Yeah, I'm gonna bring us right to the other screen. Hey, look at us. Hi. How's it shaking? Well, I'm hosting and I'm also running the tech, but we're just gonna. All right, says excellent. Somebody else can babysit the stream. Hi, welcome to Blue California. Welcome to episode 2. This is our weird little surf town tabletop RPG in an original setting. Sorry, I saw that E. Lucas in the chat said now sponsored by Audible, and because I was having a little bit of audio issues before going live here, that sent me down a full sort of list of checklists to make sure that I knew what was being broadcast. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I mean, why don't we just do a little hello and a quick update? So let's do a round robin of names, and we can each pass off to the next person. Hi, I'm Lee Grainer, and I'll be playing the role of the GM. Basically, I'll be playing the rest of the town until and unless the players decide to also play parts of the town. Next, Sean, you go. Oh no! Oh, I know why. Try now. Let's do it again. It's because the slider was all the way.
Let's do it again.
Practice makes perfect.
You know what? You know why? You know why, Sean? My entire right now I have about 25 sliders in front of me, and if the wrong ones are in the wrong place. Okay. Hi, welcome to Blue California. Once again, this is episode 2. This is our weird little surf town. Or tabletop RPG. I'm Lee Grainer, and I'll be playing the GM. And so basically, I'll be playing the entire town of Blue California, in so much as the other players do not usurp and pass around the weaving sticks, whatever those implements are called. So yeah, go ahead there, Sean.
I'm Sean Bouchard. I play Coda Robinson, teenage surfer dude who has been missing for a year here in Blue California. Kyla?
I am Kyla Fury. I am playing the Seagulls of Blue California. Jamie.
I'm Jamie Antonise. I'm playing LJ Chandra, who is a ice cream seasonal worker who gets unstuck in time every time he scoops a certain bucket of ice cream. I'm glad our audio I got a second shot at that. It felt better the second time.
That's good.
Yeah, I think having a second take of a live show is always it's always a big luxury, you know. Yeah. Well, I'm so glad that we're all here. You know, whenever something's challenging at all, I like to talk my way through it and really just sort of lampshade it. And so that's not my way of vamping. And I bring that up only because I'm currently doing it right now. But then I think we can segue directly into the story. Yeah, let's talk about what happened last time. Previously on Blue California. What happened?
What
y'all
did happen?
Y'all you stumbled upon a plot to rat poison the seagulls. that was you foiled it, sort of, because then
Sort of.
the vice.
Did we?
But
No one
not
knows.
not immediately. Certainly not immediately.
The vice mayor, Grebes, he wrote in a new ordinance, a curfew ordinance that you were breaking. That as he did that, you sort of lost your memories and blacked out. Coda returned a year later, having no sense of any time passing. Jamie, LJ got a vision of a future in which Vice Mayor Grebes is now the mayor of Blue California, and that is not good for anyone, because he's implemented the what do you call it? The integrated theory of paperwork. So nobody can take a step or anything without filling out a form. And then so Coda came back. Y'all talked to Jake Lopez. Coda's surprised that everyone's surprised to see him. And the latest thing we saw is that the Gulls spy Vice Mayor Grebes in his lair over there at City Hall, vowing to get rid of the Gulls as part of, oh yes, that's right, the other inciting incident. We have piles of them by now. There's he wants to get rid of the Gulls because he thinks he needs to do that in order to win the election, because there is a mayoral election coming up, because the mayor is gone. The mayor is done.
Like suddenly vacated his position, right?
For the first time in 100 years, there's an election in Blue California. So that's where we're at.
Damn.
Oh shit. Oh yes, go ahead.
And we also have one of their walkie-talkies, and it's bad if we get it back to them, right? Don't we have one of the administrative walkies?
We do, yeah.
You have an administrative walkie. Also, Blue California does have a title theme music, but we're not going to try for that right now, because right now my computer is using about 300% of its CPU. So you may have to just imagine that.
Yeah, if you're watching this later on YouTube and you hear it, it's because it was edited in after the fact.
Yeah, actually, you may have just heard it.
Dance to it for a second.
That's okay. No, that's okay. We'll get there though in the future. I'm gonna do a two-computer setup, because turns out that just broadcasting a Discord call is more than a MacBook Pro can handle. So let's get right into it. Let's start weaving. I'm gonna go ahead and say that after your reconnection with Jake Lopez at the Coffle Coffee Shop, actually, y'all tell me just real quick, do we pick up from the same day or have a few days passed? Because I can do either one, and I'll keep weaving. You can just... All right, I'm just gonna...
choice.
Okay.
I think a few days could have passed.
Okay.
I think Coda is sort of like trying to come to grips with this sort of new reality that a year has passed without his noticing, and figure out sort of like, reconnect with family, and move boxes and sewing equipment out of his old bedroom, and like that kind of thing.
Okay, very cool. LJ,
Your parents moved on quick, huh?
yeah, that's tough. That's tough.
All of your stuff, Robinson. That's...
All of your stuff was still in your room. It was just piled up on pushed off to the side.
Yeah, exactly.
Everything was on the bed. Everything was on the bed. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so I want to pick up here with LJ. So, LJ, you just got off of like a shift where you ended your shift in the afternoon. Let's say 2 p.m. ish, and you're headed home. Can you just give us a little glimpse into what that looks like as you walk home?
So I think at the end of the day is 2 p.m. when the shop closes up, or just I'm heading home.
I think
now.
you're just heading home for now. I think. Well, I think it's
Okay.
up to you, actually.
Yeah,
Maybe.
That's okay. I'm doing the early shift today at ice cream, which is the easier shift, really. That's the late afternoon when things really pick up. So I guess I'm probably walking home on my own, and I have the afternoon off, which I think means going back up the hill towards the forest.
Cool.
Right?
Yep.
Back away from away from off the boardwalk, over the road, up the hill, probably an old timey. Is this Walkman era? Would I have a Walkman sort of thing?
I don't answer era questions, Jamie. You just tell me. Or sorry,
apologies,
LJ.
Apologies. What I've got is I've got
that last time. Yeah.
I should have learned that. I mean, and all I've got is era questions because I don't know what time it is.
You can have a Walkman no matter what era it is.
Yeah, I've got
an
indiscriminate black box that's piping tinny music into my ear. So whatever era it is, it sucks. And and I'm on my way home.
All right. Okay. Hold your thoughts for about 30 seconds. I'm going to.
Can I ask just a world building question for Jamie in the meantime?
Yes, please do.
So Jamie, you've noticed that there's been that one gull that's hanging around that's like the one that you like can pick out from a crowd. I'm curious if you have noticed that named the gull.
Nice.
Because they haven't suggested any names to you. They don't have names for themselves. So I'm curious if you have decided to name that gull.
I think to me that gull is still just Mindbird. When I see it, I say hello, Mindbird. Mindbird. Which is a little hard to say, and I guess I'm going to be saying it a lot. And it's the one with the black head and the sort of white streak. Is that right? I can identify it visually.
Yeah, I think we said it had like a little black dot amongst its otherwise like lighter part of its plumage.
I want to go ahead and say that maybe Mindbird is there. So LJ, as you walk up into the forest, the invasive forest, the housing development there is former military houses, so they're basically made of cardboard, but it's a nice place. And as you're walking up, it's actually eerily quiet. It's like extra quiet today. And I'm going to say that you hear a sound, which at first startles you, but then you realize that it's simply a giant sheaf of bark falling off of one of the eucalyptus trees, which happens from time to time. There's been, that's a thing that eucalyptus does, and there's only been like 10 bark related injuries this year in your neighborhood. So it's a pretty good year for that. But also you hear perhaps a squawk and a rustle because you do notice that Mindbird is there, just sort of being there,
kind of keeping an eye on things.
Yeah, always looming, always grooming.
I think whenever I see Mindbird, I think I flip a little bit. I carry a cone free of ice cream in my pocket, and I snap off a piece and throw it to Mindbird.
Good way to get a bird to follow you home, even if it wasn't going to otherwise.
That's wonderful. As you okay, I'm going to take the liberty of saying that you around the corner and go up some stairs and go into your apartment, pop the door open. It looks like it always does, except that this time there's a branch has grown in through the window slightly. And
through which window? Oh, sorry.
So you're on the second story. there's like a window in your kitchen, and
Mhm.
you notice that the screen for the window is now on the floor of the kitchen, because it had to make way for the branch that is now just sort of in your kitchen.
That means the
This-
window's open, which means there's now also a seagull in your kitchen.
Okay.
Excellent. So the seagull didn't follow me through the door.
No, the
Just-
seagull is a little
went-
bit wary about going into human entrances
Sure.
in normal ways, but if it can break into a human dwelling, then that's a different story.
So this obviously seems weird to me, and I think the first thing I'm going to do is cautiously. I'm just going to sort of take a look around the kitchen to see has something been disturbed. Sort of probably actually like, can I look around the other side and see if there's a tree coming through from the outside? I guess I'm trying to assess realities here. Is what I'm
okay.
trying to do.
Yeah, go for it. Take a roll ski.
Yeah. Plus wits, which my wits aren't terrible. +1 on wits.
Good wits.
Ooh, my wits aren't terrible, but my rolling is bad.
Are they about
I got
you?
a 3.
Okay. What is that?
So, on a miss, I might reveal crucial information, or the GM might have to ask you 2 questions, but give you some info. You might have, if you want, you can give me some information that's inaccurate. So I can ask some questions, but like you can be misleading, basically, if you want to. That's sort of what that. It looks like that's what assess reality does here.
Okay, I think I'm going to tell you this. You get the sense that you could learn more by getting really close to the branch and maybe touching it.
Yeah. Then I mean, if that's what my instinct is telling me, that I've got to get up there and touch this branch on a 3, that's definitely what I'm going to do.
It slaps you in the face.
All right. In a fully damaging way, like give me a scale from.
Do you take harm?
You don't take harm.
To this, like
you don't take harm. You don't take harm. But by the time you see it again, by the time you look at it again, it's completely stationary, as if nothing ever happened.
Okay.
I think the seagull is also somewhat startled by this and like flaps backwards up onto the counter.
Okay.
This is a
Very, very-
gaslighting tree.
Uses the light something, I'll tell you what.
Just a tree. Always been a tree.
Okay. It grows a little bit more. It reaches further in. It sort of grows right past you, reaching further into your kitchen. And at this point, a sort of thicker arm of the tree, branch of the tree, I guess you might call it, is kind of moving in, and it's sort of straining the wooden frame of your window a little bit.
Okay. Luckily, one of my constant bits of gear is my Zweihander giant de-icer blade.
Okay.
Portrayed here. This is one of the weird things. I've got a giant scraper.
Yep.
that I carry around with me. I think this is absolutely the time to, first of all, say to the tree, "Hey, stop. But also, this is a tree. This is not a person. I'm going to try to mix it up. I think I'm going to try to chop at this branch."
Okay. Now, you let me know. Is that going to be a fight for your life or a face? I don't think it's a fight for your life. You're not fighting for your life. You might be facing your fear.
That depends on the tree. You tell me. I think I'm facing fear. It sounds so far like I'm facing fear, but if I'm fighting for my life, let me know. Okay. Plus pluck, which is also +1. And I think that this is just a basic thing still. Okay, I got a 7. So on a 7 to 9, I can face fear, but there's a worse outcome, a hard choice, or a price to pay, right?
It says you accomplish. Oh no. Oh yeah. Okay. So what were you attempting to do? I guess is the question.
I was attempting to straight up, you know, de-ice. I was this thing is growing through my is growing into my house.
Yep.
I'm trying to chop, you know, to chop the head off the hydra.
You want to be able to close that window again.
I would love to be able to close that window again. It gets a little chilly here on summer evenings.
Okay. Well, okay, cool. Okay, so you do accomplish something. You chop off that bit of branch that was sort of like hanging into your room, into your kitchen. But when you do so, immediately, more branch quickly grows in, almost as if in response to what you did, and now it's reaching all the way up through the window and into the like ceiling, where it also sort of starts to tendril out, but also push up into the ceiling. And before you can stop to think, another branch has sort of come in. So now it's as if the branches are sort of pulling the edges of your window open. Yeah. Things are happening.
Things are happening. Man, I'm thinking of what would I, LJ Chandra, do in this situation? First of all, is the branch on the ground just dead, or is it also growing? Are we looking at a double? Like, are things growing from both ends here?
The branch on the ground it does not seem to move or have life at all. So yeah, it's
okay.
Yeah, it's dead.
Okay. So this thing is rapidly growing. It's growing through my house, basically.
It is.
Okay. I think so. I have a move. I want to get back down to the boardwalk fast to try to get help. And I have a move, rewind.
Oh shit.
And I think that probably like that doesn't rewind time, that rewinds me to a previous spot. That would teleport me out of there to deal with this. So I want to I don't think anyone is around. I'm going to go maybe this is a question you can answer for me. Who do I know? Weird shit happens, right? Like, is there somebody besides my dad who you think I would go to in a situation like this in the town?
Do we have a Giles? Do we have like a Giles in the library somewhere?
I don't think you have a Giles. I think the first person who comes to mind is Coda, honestly.
Okay. Yeah, absolutely.
I'm not Giles, but I think that, we have encountered weird shit together. So
yeah, definitely. I'm gonna rewind as basically a speed move to get back to that beach, to get back to the beach side, so that I can, because I think that's where I'm gonna find Coda.
That's where you're gonna find Coda.
All right.
Does that insta teleport you, or do you just end up like moving really fast? Like, what does that look like?
I think we.
I think.
Oh, so go ahead. This is actually your department. I'm just reading the book. I'm reading your character sheet.
So looking at rewind, I think that this probably. I don't think that I'm a temporal anomaly that's in control of my powers per se. So I think that this probably surprises me. I want to go, and suddenly I do go. So I think that probably what it looks like is I think that probably what it looks like for others is almost like a little glitch in a VHS tape or something like that. Like I'm back there. But and for me it's relatively surprising. Like I'm like I've got to go to, and then suddenly I'm there.
So
It's
does-
just sort of like
does-
the tape skips.
Does Mindbird just like see you vanish?
Yeah, this is really I should have.
I wanna throw-
Mindbird first of all.
I want to throw in a pillar here of Blue California, which is obviously that tree moving was a big part of our effects budget. I like to think of this show as being like one of those spooky shows on TV where they had little to no effects budget. So so like, yeah, maybe, you know, there's a glitching effect when you rewind. Like maybe you suddenly remember yourself back to where you were.
Yeah.
Mindbird, perhaps you it's like,
Well, Mindbird doesn't have to do anything. Mindbird basically says to the gull mind, "What the fuck?" And
What the
other gulls are
flock?
like, "Oh no, yeah, he's here. He's like over here suddenly. I don't know, man. This fucker's weird.
Yeah.
People aren't supposed to move like that."
yeah, you lost track of him. Yeah, you just kind of lost
Yeah.
track of him.
Mhm.
So LJ, do you want to roll for rewind?
Yes, I'll roll plus chaos here. Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna add anything to this. Man, maybe I should. So it's gonna give me a little anomaly.
Uh-huh.
Do I want to? Oh, I don't think I can push myself on these. I can only push myself on basic moves. So I'll just roll, see what happens. Okay, 5 and a dice off the table. Oh hell yeah. 12.
All right.
12 plus chaos.
You arrive there, no problem. Wonderful.
So are you
Which-
back on
Okay,
the
cool.
boardwalk then?
Yeah, which just spares us an annoying scene of me trying to find Coda for longer. So I'm really glad that worked out.
Yeah.
So
There are
Coda,
some other seagulls there looking at you like real skeptical.
Coda, you
Just
get
FYI.
Coda, you get some very intense deja vu, and you can't remember if you can't remember whether or not LJ was standing right there with you, but he is.
Yeah, but I often find that I can't remember who's standing where. So Coda reacts like pretty nonplussed, like, "Hey, LJ."
Hey Coda, what do you do when there's a tree in your house?
Why is there a tree in your house?
Also, I just want to throw out there that it is the holidays in Blue California, so it's the holiday.
Oh, is it? Is it?
There are trees in lots of people's houses.
Yeah.
It's I need a name for this. I don't want to just say holiday celebration. I don't want to say Christmas. What's the name of this municipal holiday?
It's light beer.
What's that?
Wavy days.
It is. We can't use Candlemas because that's
Yeah.
the Mabim
Maybe
Bam.
it's Kringle's.
Actually, no, Candle Nights is
Oh,
the
yeah.
Mim. Candlemas is pretty good.
It is pretty good. I think it's a little. I do want to avoid the. You know how all roads lead to McElroy's for me. So I'd prefer to
Yeah.
give that.
Yes.
Can we go
I
mean-
Kringle?
Krampfest. It's Krampfest. It's the ironic celebration of Krampus that like the punks tried to popularize, and it kind of stuck around, but it has nothing to do with Krampus anymore. But they still call it Krampfest.
Yeah, let's call it. Okay, so it's Krampfest if you're cool, but officially the community tries to push Kringlemas.
Yeah.
So it is-
Kringlemas?
That's what the
Okay.
community is pushing Kringlemas as a more
Yes.
official.
Yeah, they
I think that
hired
Krampfest sounds weird, and
they spent like
Okay.
$2 million to have like an agency come up with that.
And is there like a mascot for this that's like a Krampus that is like really jolly and not
Jolly Krampus.
Well,
He's
not
called Jolly
horrific at all.
Krampus.
I mean Kringlemas
they
Kringlemas
didn't replace.
the official
So
logo
they-
the official spokesperson No.
Because
Mascot?
Coca-Cola has trademarked the traditional Santa Claus, so the best that they could do was sort of like a jolly Krampus.
I mean, I think there's definitely like kind of a light side, dark side to this thing, because the Kringlemas is the official Kringlemas figurehead person is like a 10 to 12 foot tall giant sort of Santa drinking a bottle of 7-Up with a huge like an oversized bag.
Orange Fanta.
Yeah, but his expression is a very intense one of like somewhere between like anticipatory joy and a kind of like manic sort of warning expression. So then very easily the punks have found a way to graffiti Kringlemas into, what was it, Krampfest or
Krampfest.
into a Krampus like
Krampus
figure. Yeah, so like when you see this thing at night under the glow of the streetlights, it gets pretty dark. There's definitely
real
like two sides of the coin.
Out as
Yes. So anyway, that so LJ just asked, what do you do when there's a tree in your house? And then two people walk by with a Christmas tree, carrying a Christmas tree on the beach.
LJ, did you not want a tree in your house?
No, it's bad.
Okay, well, let's get it out of the house.
Tree out of my house. Help me
I'll
get the tree out
come
of my
help
house.
take the tree out of your house. Yeah. And Coda, who's got his surfboard, it just sort of on the beach, just sort of like sticks his surfboard in the spot where he always sticks his surfboard, and puts on sandals and is ready to come help.
All right, sounds good.
Gull lands on the surfboard just to make sure that nothing bad happens to it.
Oh, that's great.
Thank you.
Can we give that
Thank
gull
you.
a distinguishing mark and a name or a phrase?
I mean, that's just the gull that watches the surfboard.
Yeah.
There's going to be a lot of them.
TG.
Let's do that. Yeah,
TGTS.
it's that, but with hyphens. It's that with hyphens between. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, the gull that watches the surfboard. I want to give that gull like a surfboard-shaped gray marking on its forehead or something.
No, it has frosted tips. It has like little like pale bits on the feathers on
Amazing.
its head.
That's wonderful.
Amazing.
Okay. Okay. So can I take the liberty of saying that you two make your way up once more to the residential area, the Big Turtle Beach residential area, which is not actually in Big Turtle Beach. It's just adjacent to it. It's in the invasive forest.
Of course.
As you approach LJ's little section of the housing installations, you see that. Oh my God.
Mindbird is still there and looking kind of pissed off at you.
LJ, your house, your apartment is now like fully embraced by eucalyptus, giant buff eucalyptus arms branches, and likewise, yes, it's embraced, it's ensconced, and likewise with other. It's not just yours. Other parts of the residential area are. There's a new sort of tree that has come up that your parking space now has like a tree in it. There's roots that have disrupted the sidewalks, and you don't see movement, but you're not sure. You think you might be able to see movement if you caught it just right, but honestly, all you hear is just very it's a very quiet day. You hear some birds chirping. It's like a sunny day. It's like a sort of chilly sunny day. So that's what's going on as you make your way there.
LJ, where'd this tree come from?
It came through the window. It's everywhere now.
Is it entering the house from other directions, or is it just sort of wrapped around the house?
You taking a closer look at it, you see that it's going in through the window that LJ that you saw before. It's also now there's a pretty sizable branch that is reaching into your bedroom window too. It's actually not just a branch, it's like a whole like tree is kind of leaned over and is now like pushing up on your
Damn.
your window, and you see some cracks starting to form on the wall of your bedroom. At this point, also other people have come outside. Other people have come outside too, and they're like, "What?" They're like looking at it, and they're like, "What the?" And like somebody's like calling. Somebody's like calling somebody.
I was gonna say, so this is like a standard apartment building type setup, right?
Yeah.
So I think in a lot of apartment buildings there are like the pull handle fire alarms on the outside of the building. So I think the gull is gonna like peck the fire alarm and try and pull the fire alarm.
That's great. I love that. What I'm wondering is that something you roll for? Because that seems like that's outside of the normal abilities of a gull. I mean, but it is within the normal abilities of a player character.
I mean, it's a pretty smart gull.
I guess,
but also,
I guess it's
like,
not. It's not one of the basic moves.
If I fail to do it on my own, someone could help me if they want to.
Yeah, Lee, I think that's the kind of thing that you could say it is physically impossible for the gull to do this.
Yeah.
But otherwise, it's probably a simple thing to do.
Or that
like
it's risky. You know, if you feel like it's between a corridor of trees and it's a risky thing, that's sort of your determination.
Actually, I think maybe what's a good GMing about it is if we take a step back, because what are you trying to do with this one? Gulls.
My gull understanding is that the loud noise summons the people who have axes.
Okay.
And lots of equipment. And so if the tree is bad, then the people with axes should come.
So would you say that you are seeking out specialized help or resources from the community?
I like it.
Yeah, let's go with that.
So that's going to be a faction move called Call for Aid. So
with the community?
Yeah, I have a
think
+1 to community.
Yeah.
So how does that work? I roll 2 dice.
Bureaucracy.
Yeah.
Oh wait, I'm sorry. No, that isn't. That's not so much a call for aid as a rally. You're inciting members of a faction to act. Okay, cool.
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah. So roll
so
plus.
What do I roll? 2 dice plus community.
I think so.
All right, let's see what happens.
I think so.
I got boxcars, 2 6s, so 13.
Okay.
Damn.
On a 10 plus, you choose 3 options. Do you have the paperwork in front of you? Otherwise, I can read them to you.
I have it in one of these tabs.
I think it's worth reading.
Yeah, I'll read it out loud. Here's your 4 options. You can choose 3 of them. The first is they will not back down in the face of resistance. Next is they call upon additional resources from their faction. The next is they will do exactly as you asked. And finally, you won't owe a debt in return. Which that fourth one maybe you want to pay attention to.
Yeah, I was gonna say I think I have to choose the 4th one because I don't think that the firefighters understand that the gull is responsible in any way. So I think the others.
Sure. Hey, this is Blue California. We could definitely make it where it's kind of a sort of a some pig situation where they're like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
And then they want to make a buck off you.
Yeah, I think the gulls are like not the lowest key, but there are only certain humans that they favor. So
I also think that there's, Blue California probably has ways of sort of metaphysically holding you to debts that you owe, even if the firefighters don't.
Yeah, Coda, you have noticed that around here, the energies of the town sometimes create strange waves and riptides of their own that you don't want to get caught in.
That's just karma, dude.
That's right. Okay, yeah, so Gulls, how do you want to... What does that look like? Now, which of these four things do you want to do 3 of? And how so?
I think I'll do the ones that are okay. So I had the thing up and then I closed it again.
Sure.
Sorry. It's in, was it in player reference or RPG?
It's in player reference sheet.
Player reference sheet. Faction moves. There we go.
Yep.
Rally. So I'm gonna go with I don't owe them a debt because they don't fully perceive that the gulls are involved.
That's nice.
I'm gonna go with they call upon additional resources and they will not back down in face of resistance. They won't do exactly as I asked because I didn't really specifically ask anything. I just pulled a fire alarm.
Okay. So you pull the fire alarm and you immediately hear the loud, annoying sound of a fire alarm echoing throughout not just this building, but like the entire sort of block of squat buildings. People outside who are already looking bewildered at things, more of the residents come out and look at what's going on. They see the immediate trouble. They some of them go back inside and come out with axes and chainsaws and so on. Like these are the kind of people who don't often chainsaw, but they can and they will.
Meanwhile, Coda has his arms wrapped around the tree. He's just trying to pull it back away from the house, and absolutely nothing is happening.
Okay, that's wonderful. Now, some people are on phones, and so as the residents go to get to work on the trees, very quickly you start to hear the sirens of a fire truck, and the fire truck pulls up, and
good response time.
Yeah, it's very good response time. I think that you maybe got lucky, that they were already there. There was just another fire that they put out, so they're like, this is going to be actually a combo bonus for us. So you've got them. The oh god damn it, that's right. Sorry. There's something else that I invented a while ago that I have to make true, which is this is the volunteered fire department. So sometimes when you live in Blue California, you get volunteered to be part of the fire department, and so they bring axes as well as flamethrowers.
Okay.
Yeah, like fire departments have.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Like
So
fire
now-
with fire. That's
Fire
bravado.
with fire, exactly. Yes.
Exactly. Props to me for holding to that prior invention. So now, yeah, they these residents are wailing on these trees. As they start to dig into the trees, though, the trees do start to kind of maybe not fight back so much as writhe and reposition, and they seem to really be footballing here. Like they're trying to keep their line of scrimmage intact. So these trees are not going down willingly.
Can Coda would like to sort of like, since people have arrived who seem to have more effective tools for this current situation than he does, Coda would like to take a step back
Okay.
and try to understand on a more holistic level what's going on, and like
Okay.
can I tell, does this tree look like it has an intention? Is it trying to get to something? Is it trying to accomplish something?
Feel the vibes.
So that's definitely going to be a move. What I'm wondering is it going to be a basic move, or do you have a special coda move?
Well, that's great. Yeah, if just sort of looking at the tree isn't going to do it for me, I could assess reality.
You can
but
embrace
but
chaos as well.
That's not what I really do. I could
Okay.
also embrace chaos, which I'm more into. But I will say I have a move called Dissonant Whispers.
Okay.
And this is what happens when I entreat the Ceaseless Whispers for guidance.
Sure.
You remember those Ceaseless Whispers at the back of my mind?
Yeah.
That sort of came up last time.
I love that song. That song starts playing on an old car radio.
Yeah, exactly. So I could ask for supernatural help. I tend to think that the way that Coda is approaching this in this moment would be more about embracing the chaos, would be more about trying to like attune with the tree, rather than trying to delve into the whispers in his head. But
Okay.
I can do either one of those.
I would say roll whichever one you want, and it's definitely going to affect how I approach what happens.
Cool. All right. Well, then I'm going to embrace some chaos, which I am so excited to do. I've been waiting for this. When you contend with a source of entropic power, roll plus chaos. On a 10+, choose 2 from the list below. On a 7 and 9, you choose 1 and the GM chooses 1. So I got an 8 plus 2.
Okay.
That is a 10+.
Ooh, okay.
So I get to choose 2 from this list. You gain a clear understanding of the power's source, effects, and motives. Quell the power's effect. Briefly wield this power's effect. Subvert this power to achieve your ends. Inflict or heal 1 harm on a nearby target. And mark or erase 1 essence. So I don't have any harm or essence loss right now, so I don't need to do that. But I will, of course, I want to gain a clear understanding of the power's source, effects, and motives.
Okay.
And can I do that before I choose my second one?
Sure. Actually, well, could you tell me the second one as well? Because I might, that way I can weave with more.
I think the thing that I want to do is quell the power's effect, and try to sort of bring it back from its grasp on the house.
Got it. Okay. Excellent. You embrace chaos. And in embracing chaos, I'm also going to make the little bit of ruling that, you're following your instincts here. And you attune to this entropy, this tree situation, and it's like you realize that the way you can help most as a single coda person, if you're trying to get this off of the house, is to just climb up there. And I assume that's a coda thing to do. Climb up.
That's it.
This tree. Okay.
No, if I get the sense that that's what I should do, I'm there.
Yeah. Okay. This is your journey. It's your journey. You climb up the part of the tree that the trunk has leaned into the bedroom a bit. And when you're up there, you notice 2 things. First of all, you notice that you are able to sort of like jimmy it out of the way in a way that when the people are like attacking the trees are recoiling and then sort of Hydra like coming back more so. But as you're doing that, you realize that it's a bit more like kind of safely wrestling a large dog in a way that says, no, don't do that. And so the tree does it doesn't fight you. It kind of like backs off a bit. And you also notice something that's been disturbed by one of the trees, and it's been by one of the trunk. It's getting hard to tell the trees apart, by one of the grasping tree parts. limbs is some signage that you have always noticed around, but you've seen it so often that you didn't pay attention to it, which is it says what does it say exactly? It says beware of the trees. No, it says Big Turtle Beach residential area. No, wait. That wouldn't say that, actually. It would say forest. I think it would just say invasive forest. But it has a sign for City Hall because it's got the hours, when you can be in the forest, when the forest is open. God, that's
When
so
the forest
City
is
Hall.
open. Yeah.
That's so City Hall. Yeah, it has the open and close hours for the forest. And it says these hours are enforced by City Hall police. And it basically says, the forest is part of the domain of City Hall. Not anything else. And that tickles your brain because you have because one of the people in City Hall, one of them is you have some people who you aren't friendly with. So that
VMG. Yeah.
VMG, those neurons fire. We zoom into your brain and we see the neurons just fire and make a connection, and we zoom out again.
Am I able to, using this sort of like what I've discovered, that brute force is not as effective as this sort of like restraining kind of thing? Can I use that to help like get the tree back away from LJ's place of residence? Because that's the thing I'm concerned about, is LJ having a place to live.
Yeah, you realize that as this threat is approaching its full fruition over time, you've definitely paused some of that.
Okay.
You haven't dissuaded it, but you have paused
Sure.
it. You've bought some time.
Okay.
At this point, Gulls,
Yes.
you notice something. The gull who watches the surfboards.
Mhm.
You see eucalyptus trees from the beach, which you can usually just see the tops of them in the distance, but you're starting to notice they're kind of in there's a road that separates part of Big Turtle Beach from the residential area in the forest, and there's at least one or two trees now on the close side of the road. So that's an issue.
That seems not right. I
Yep.
think the sort of nervousness of something not right going on is gonna cause the gulls to flock a little bit, right? Like just increase in number so that the flock on the beach kind of gathers together and brings some of the boardwalk gulls in, and they're just kind of flying in a big agitated circle, like watching out for what's going on. Enough that probably people notice. They're pretty noisy.
Sounds good. That sounds good. I do have a question for you. Can you tell me about the flock on the beach? There's a flock on the beach and a flock on the boardwalk, as I recall.
Yes.
What is their history there? What's their relationship with that space?
I mean, they don't get along. None of the flocks really get along. But the beach gulls, they think they're better than the other gulls because they don't eat garbage. Because they mostly, like they peck at barnacles and mussels and stuff. And the other gulls sort of see them as kind of meatheads because they're not smart enough to eat garbage.
Because of all the mussels?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
You
Why
don't get along
go
with yourself?
through all the trouble of like hunting a thing and trying to like get into a hard shell when there are fries right there on the boardwalk, right? That people drop all the time.
Yeah.
But when something like threatening is going on, they will band together against a common threat. Like they will
Okay.
gather together to like potentially peck the shit out of something before returning to their separate faction.
So it sounds like these gulls have a long-standing relationship with the spaces that they inhabit. Like,
Yeah, they're
They would
sort of
not-
territorial.
okay, that's good. Because I'm just making a note here that adds narrative weight. Okay, great. Narrative weight has been added. Because yes,
Wait.
it's true. The trees are a coming. Down to the trees. Oh God, what am I? I don't know.
Do the gulls
Storytelling.
have any way to communicate this back to LJ and me? Because like,
I mean, they have a
we're-
way to communicate it back to the gulls that are near you, but those gulls don't have the best communication with you. I think LJ, you can get a little bit from Mindbird. That like the strongest you can sense from Mindbird is that like there is some like distraction and agitation amongst the flock. Like something somewhere is going on that's not just this. But I don't know if you can tell enough that it's like exactly where it is or anything like that.
Mindbird doesn't sort of squawk like a sort of pseudo language into my brain.
No,
It's sort of just a
it's they can't talk to you unless you are the speaker for the gulls, and you are not yet the speaker.
I'm not.
For
I'm
the gulls.
definitely not yet the speaker.
But they can sort of give you some general vague impressions, and
Okay.
your general vague impressions is that like danger beach.
Okay, danger beach, not danger forest, danger beach.
Yeah.
Okay.
Danger beach, and specifically danger surfboard, because the gull that was watching the surfboard is agitated off its perch.
right.
This is a misleading message here. I still can't believe that you are a hive mind in competition with yourself.
With itself.
That
And
is
that-
really something.
And that you ended up with the character that's the easiest for me to DM, because you know, whenever I need you to know
listen.
something, there you are.
The gulls
Yeah.
know things. The
Yeah.
gulls are everywhere.
I mean, I think regardless, so danger beach, but clearly danger here, right? I think my priority at this point is fairly consistent. I'm a teenage boy. I'm mortified that this tree is going to open up my room and destroy my room and get at my stuff. So I'm going to stuff all my most embarrassing shit into a backpack and try to get it out of there.
Incredible.
Amazing.
So I'm in there. Can I get into my room? Basically, so I would say my prized possession is probably hidden under my mattress. Collectible ice cream flavor playing cards, or collectible ice cream flavor cards. I have like a set of
Mint
of
condition and also mint flavored.
Oh,
God.
chocolate chip mint condition, baby.
They're absolutely this set is absolutely called mint condition.
That's so good.
That's really good. So yeah, I'm grabbing that. I'm grabbing the walkie. I believe is hidden by the gull somewhere, right? Like the walkie is not in my possession. Last we checked.
Yeah, last time the gulls dragged it over from
The
somewhere.
the gulls is. It's better that we don't know where it is. and
It's like it's probably
where the
under a
walkie
house
is.
or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Plausible deniability. You don't need to know.
Well, so LJ, for you to get that stuff together, definitely to go into your house at this point, you're gonna have to face fear.
Yeah. Okay. I'll face fear again.
Roll some
And
good stuff.
Sure. Oh,
It should be a
tragic.
little easier because I've been able to kind of like push
You were
some
sort
of
of
the branches
parting the
away,
seas a
but
little bit, right? Yeah. Man, good rolls. I got a 10. Plus
All right.
Sweet.
my pluck is so I got an 11.
All right, you succeed.
Like this is yeah. Okay, so I gather my stuff. Trying to think if there's anything else that would be mildly useful here. Really, I think I'm just stuffing a backpack with all of my ice cream related stuff.
Mhm.
And just random haphazard things. Definitely those cards. my good scoop, my whatever. It's all going in, and I'm getting out of there. It seems pretty clear.
Okay.
I've been working with the community to hack, but I think it seems pretty clear at this point that I'm gonna need to. Well, here's another question. So Coda, you were in my house and left the house through the bedroom, through the like. You left
Is
the
that
house.
right, Lee?
Coda, you actually where we
I
left
climbed
you.
the tree.
Where we left you,
Yeah, were you on
you
the
can be
outside?
outside or you can be in his room if you want.
What? Yeah, LJ, do you want me in your room? Do you want me to like
I
be
think
doing
that
this
my
or
room
helping
is.
out?
So I think that if you had gone in before me, I would have been like, "No, why are you going in my room?" I think that it's definitely, it's
Okay,
definitely like,
then I don't need to go into the room.
Okay.
I'm outside wrestling the tree.
okay. But I think that as I leave, I am going to. I think that as I leave, the one I'm looking for is absolutely with my pack, with my giant uh ice scraper that's done nothing to this tree. I'm looking for Coda to see if we can book it. It seems like doing, like I'm more worried for our safety at this point.
Yeah. Hey, LJ, it seems like these trees are the property of City Hall. We should like go down there and get them to do something about these trees.
Oh, City Hall. Yeah, yeah. Uh um let's see. I'm trying to think if this is um Lee, I will go with you on this if there's any point at which a flash forward would be useful.
Uh-huh.
Like a flash forward into like if there's going to be trouble in City Hall. But for now, I think I mean I have definitely very bad associations with City Hall, right?
Yeah.
Like City Hall, right? Um
We are enemies.
yeah, we are enemies. Like yeah, I think I said like let's not go straight there. Um, but yeah, maybe you think that they can. I don't know, Cody. You've been away for a while. You're great with City Hall.
I know, but look at this sign. Like, this is their tree. Like,
Of course,
somebody's responsible for this, LJ. Like, somebody's got to be able to stop it.
you're right. You're right. Somebody's responsible for this.
As you
And I think,
oh, sorry.
yeah.
Yeah, as you say
Go
that,
ahead. No,
as you say that, I know before we said a certain time of day, I'm going to go ahead and say that it's evening now, by now. And all of a sudden, you notice some quiet. And Coda, while you're wrestling the tree just becomes still. And you're still looking at this sign. I'm going to say that you have the sign if you want the sign. It's an object now. You notice that it's now like, I don't know, let's say 6 p.m.
It says at the bottom, it is unlawful to remove this sign, but you have the sign.
It's 6 p.m. and it says that based on City Hall, the open hours of the forest end at 6 p.m.
Okay.
And it opens
what
tomorrow.
happened?
All the trees are just hanging out now. They're just normal. They've stopped writhing.
They've stopped writhing.
Ooh,
Are they
and
still? But they're
hear
still
the,
like poking in through windows and stuff.
Yeah. They've just stopped
are they
moving.
only affecting? Just to clarify, because it's been several hours, and this tree, there's been a lot of tree activity. Is it only LJ's apartment that is being targeted?
No, it's like all of the apartments that are near the the forest. And I think
And I
by
have
now,
one more. Just another clarification, real quick.
sure. I didn't see your.
How destroy? Like I'm having trouble getting a sense of how destroyed my house is. Right? Is it like this
Question.
house
Good
is
question.
gone? It has been crushed by the trees, and like if you took away the trees, it would just collapse. Or is it like this house is tangled up in there? There's still some hope for this house. Like where are we at?
Officially, based on the very few like I have a clock here for different stuff, and officially, Coda has paused your house from being destroyed. So
Okay.
your house is worse for wear, but it's fixable. It is not none of the studs are fucked. Like
Okay.
yeah.
There's no
It's even
load-bearing
livable.
walls are now brand new.
Yeah, it's even livable. Like if you put a tarp over, the broken windows or whatever.
Cool. Thank you.
You know what? I'm not just gonna say that it's 6 o'clock. You hear the town hall has a bell, a big old bell in it, and it rings 6 o'clock. Yeah. And I do want to point out to you that you notice that the forest opens again tomorrow at 6 a.m.
That is extremely early.
Well, it's a forest. Okay. Yeah, birds have to. But you're up. You're probably up then anyway for a dawn patrol, right?
That's true, but I would want to be on the beach. I don't want to be fucking around with forests.
Okay.
Lee is do I know, is town hall open past 6 p.m. or are they going to be closed now too?
Because it's Kringlemas, there's actually a Kringle tree lighting tonight. So town hall's going to be open late. Town hall's open until 8 p.m. All the clerical offices and stuff are open till 8 p.m. in celebration of Kringlemas.
They celebrate by working longer hours.
Oh, all right. It's a good GMing.
Oh, the spirit of work.
Just white knuckle GMing.
That's Kringlemas. That's Kringlemas for you. At Crampfest, they would have none of that.
Yeah.
Very efficiency.
I'm weaving as fast as I can.
Good. It's really good.
Yeah, thank you. I'm gonna make a little bit of a jump here to kind of gather you all together. Let's say that Coda, you return to your board. Y'all are down at the beach.
My board. What
the
happened
gulls.
here? There's trees everywhere.
There's trees. Sort of lined up, making a kind of almost like soldiers in sort of a tree war, looking like they're ready to invade the beach.
Storm the beaches.
But they are still. Yeah, they are still.
Are there other surfers around? Like, are other people on the beach reacting to what's happening here? The way that, like,
yes, I think that they
flock of seagulls in the air.
Yes, the people on the beach. The people on the beach did not see the violence of they didn't see the trees take apart any houses, so they're like, there's people going up to the trees. There's like kids like climbing in the trees. There's people singing Kringlemas carols to the trees. There's someone putting Kringlemas lights on one of the trees. Like everyone's kind of
so everybody's pretty chill with the trees.
Yeah, I'd say that they think it's like a special occasion, in kind of the Blue California way, where it's like, well, I guess this is a thing now. I guess this is just part of the season.
This is how it's going. I would say since the trees have stopped moving, most of the gulls have landed in the trees and are like pecking the heck out of the branches and not really doing much because it's a tree. But they're venting their aggression.
I'd call that a face fear, except that I know the gulls have no fear, so you won't have to roll.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Okay, well, let's go down to the the Crinkleness tree lighting ceremony, or to the city hall offices, or wherever we can find people and
If you
complain.
if
I
you
wanna.
want to, sorry, go ahead.
No, you.
If you want to presage anything, there is one of the flocks that lives around the city hall, pretty much just to keep an eye on Vice Mayor Greaves. Um, so if there's any like weird behavior going on at the city hall or anything worthy of note, they are there to spot it.
I would say that they have their hands full with the tree lighting. Um, they're both being like something like that is kind of like it's kind of like a big sports game for a flock of gulls. So like they're in it's game day. They're in game mode right now. They're leaving it all on the field, both trying to they're trying to get as many like roasted chestnuts as they can from all the people. They're being shooed away, you know. So they're a bit
Sometimes
busy.
they're menacing some of the lights for no particular reason
Yeah, exactly.
because it winked at them funny.
They're fighting a good fight over there. So they're not as useful from a surveillance point of view.
So we're still down there, right? We're still on the beach. I think that I know we're on the way to tree lighting, but before we go, I think I'm probably just have a moment of what do we do? What do we do? Coda, I need to find out what we do. And I think
shit.
I'm probably
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
So I think I'm gonna try to go in. Ice cream shop has not been touched, right?
Correct. Yep.
Okay. And I looked up a little bit of temporal anomaly, and it looks like when I have a vision of something, I then get bonuses for actions that help it to happen.
Yes.
And that's sort of how that works. It doesn't mean that this is going to happen. It just means that like I get bonuses for things that help make that come true.
And in fact, it very much might not happen.
It very much might not happen, and if it doesn't, my anomaly track spikes. Like I get like I marked 3 anomaly, which is a lot of anomaly.
There's a lot.
So if it's a little dangerous.
Which again, hanging over your head is the thing of if you know you prevent the dystopic future that you saw, you will actually suffer anomaly damage from that. Because you have to contend then with the concept of multiple timelines. Which is fine. It just adds a little bit of paprika.
That's absolutely true. It's definitely a healthy dollop of paprika on there.
Yeah.
That one was bad enough that I feel like I'll fight that future. But in general, I'm pretty much me, the ice cream, and I see eye to eye. So
ice cream and I always see eye to eye. All right, I agree with all of that.
I think I'm gonna scoop
okay.
and see what I see.
This time, can you just give us a look into like?
Yes.
You describe. Can you describe the moment of like pulling the ice cream the ice cream out of the freezer wherever it is? Like where is this?
Yeah.
Where is this special ice cream?
Yes, absolutely. So the ice cream is at the way back, right? It's almost from one side this is a pretty shallow counter. From the one side, it's a pretty shallow counter with just a couple bins. But when I reach to the way back, it feels like my whole body goes back in there to get it. This thing is way under the counter, and I de-ice and yank it free, and it's basically a hello darkness, my old friend sort of moment of this all right, let's see what we get. And as I do when I have time, I haven't done this in a long time. I think that this ice cream is really for only very special occasions. I put it on the counter.
Yep.
Little treat.
I adjust my hat. I want to make sure I'm really suited up for this. Coda, are you there with me? I think I probably pulled you.
Yeah,
along.
yeah, yeah.
Is it the first time? This is the first time you've shared this experience.
Oh, maybe it is.
Probably because Coda didn't see me. This is not the first time this has happened to me. This happened sometime a little bit before, before Coda disappeared. This is already established that I've dipped into this ice cream a few times.
Yeah.
And seen different things from past and future. But yeah, I think it is the first time that that I'm letting Coda see this. So I just sort of say to Coda, hold on. I got a scoop.
Uh-huh.
And I go into this ice cream, this sort of like very freezer burned ice cream, dark, a bad looking combination of a dark chocolate with sort of a weird gummy worm stuff sticking out.
Maybe the name of the ice cream is actually Jello Darkness, my old friend. No. Maybe that thought comes to your head and you immediately banish it.
That does sound like a Ben and Jerry's flavor, honestly. That has the length and quality of a solid Ben and Jerry's. Okay. All right, I'm gonna dip in.
Okay. Do you want to embrace chaos or do one of your special things? Special rules?
Oh yeah, definitely. This is definitely a moment of temporal anomaly, and
oh yeah, that's right.
And let's see how many. Okay, it looks like so on a 10. So I either hold 2 or hold 1, and I can then later on declare. So I guess really what happens here is I'm going to dip in, and then first let's see what I get. Okay, I got a plus chaos. I got a 7, so I hold 1.
Okay.
And I think that what's better here, based on this, is that instead of following me into my mind, I see some shit, and I go, "Oh damn!" And because this is a hold, it looks like I can spend it at any point to declare that a specific event happens in the future. So I think I'm going to keep that in my back pocket. What I saw.
Okay. I love that.
And I'm going to go, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to scoop it. I'm going to, I'm going to sort of, and hand the ice cream to Coda. Actually, like start to hand it to Coda. I hand it to you, and then I say, "Don't eat that. Throw that away."
That's such like highline barista energy. Okay.
Amazing.
Coda, what do you make of that?
Yeah. So Coda looks at you, he looks at the ice cream, he looks back at you, he looks back at the ice cream. There's like gummy worms kind of like poking out of the ice cream. And then kind of like slowly, with his eyes locked on you the entire time, he like holds the ice cream over the trash can and then drops it in.
Nice.
That's wonderful.
All right, I say.
That's wonderful.
Okay, I nod. I nod. I quickly shove it away, and I say, okay, let's go. We're not going to talk about it yet. We're not going to talk about what this means at this moment.
Yep. God, I'm so curious. Also, LJ, because Coda helped save your room, and then you faced your fear to get in there, I do want to give you another hold, which is at any point you can spend it, and you can retroactively say that you got something else from your room that would like fit in your backpack.
That's really nice. That's really nice.
Yeah, that's just a little bonus that you both earned.
Beautiful.
Okay, so what do you want to do next? You've got this kind of lull in between what the GM is heavily insinuating is sort of tree growth.
But it doesn't feel like a lull to me. It feels like this is a moment where action is required.
That's
we head down to City Hall as quickly as we can.
Heck yeah.
Some of the flock goes with you, and they get to the the city hall and see that the city hall flock is doing other shit. And they're like, "Fuckers, why aren't you on watch?" Like, there's fucking people here. Come on, there's stuff going on. You're supposed to be fucking watching. That's the whole reason you're here.
It's kind of like when you're a goal all the way kind of shit.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, very
Just
cool.
Walking at each other.
Yeah. Fighting
okay.
over some chestnuts.
Yeah, you all arrive at the Kringlemas tree lighting. There's a lot of upstanding members of the community kind of doing their Whoville thing, like swaying back and forth, singing songs of Kringle Joy. There's the punks off to the side who are jeering and making weird hand gestures that well, actually, I don't know. Does anyone here have points with the underbelly at all?
No.
Okay.
I don't think so. Let me double check. I mean, I don't see why I would.
Now
Okay.
I'm at 0 with the underdog.
Because in that
Yep,
case,
zero.
they're making weird, rude gestures that you don't understand.
Seems rude.
Signs and sigils. Yeah, they're definitely up to no good. There's some horseplay going on. Shenanigans. And then yeah, the doors to City Hall are open past the tree. So I guess the big things that are there is the gulls, the tree, the community folks, and the punks are there as well.
But everything looks more or less the way that we would expect it to for a Kringleness.
Everything. Oh
season.
God. All right. Let's paint a. Let me weave. I'll paint a picture. I'll paint a word
Let's
picture.
weave. I want to hear you weave.
You walk a step as your foot steps off the sidewalk into the parking lot of Town Hall. You see the pride and joy of the Kringlemas season, the 10 to 12 foot tall, large, giant Kringlemas tree. It's been festooned with lights and baubles. There's just a infinitesimally whatever. There's a whole bunch of lights on there of various colors. There's also perched what you think it's a bunch of just ornaments, ball-shaped ornaments, but you realize that some of those ball-shaped ornaments are the reflective eyes of some gulls that have secreted themselves in there as if they are ornaments. There's a Kringle star on top that is being slowly consumed by two gulls who are fighting between each bite.
Is it edible, or are they just consuming it anyway?
TBD. There's and you see families from even from the gated community. You see some families from just the one normal block. You see even some people who still have their chainsaws from cutting down part of the forest are there too, and they all have styrofoam, the world's smallest styrofoam cups of hot cider. And
Good
that's
stuff.
from a cider company called First and Cider.
Okay, yeah.
And
that's where I was
First
headed
and Cider,
to.
and then they're whenever someone says First and Cider, the punks are like, I hardly knew her. Every time. And yeah, and then there's a special game where the kids put what do you call it? Candy canes on the tree or something. Something like that. That seems to be what's happening. Maybe it's just a sidewalk game that was invented. Maybe it's folk game. Anyways,
It's a folk game.
it's a folk game. Behind the glow of this wonderful Crimbus tree, you do see the
Grimace.
you do see the doors of City Hall are open, and they're propped open. There's I guess they also have wreaths on them. So even though they call this, Kringlemas, it's very Christmassy. I guess you do also see like Oh yeah, you also see you see like menorahs cut out of like construction paper that are also like on the doors of City Hall. It's like a very like, and then there's like a Kwanzaa thing, you know, but it's very
Token.
their diversity and equity and inclusion is not firing on all cylinders for this pan holiday. But there's an attempt.
Can I add a detail to the scene
Sure, please.
that I feel like I would like to include? I think there are, as there are every year, a group of protesters by the tree who are protesting that it should be replaced with an artificial tree because pine trees are not native to this region. It's a huge hassle to bring
really good.
bring one in every year. It's like not environmentally friendly. And they're like passing out some pamphlets.
I'm gonna go ahead and say that is a very rare joint venture between some members of the community and some members of the underbelly, and they are protesting. You know, that's in conflict with the bureaucracy. So that's also sort of warms your heart to see those two factions hand in hand
getting along.
Yeah.
in the Pringle Mist spirit.
Yeah. That's what you see. It's a weird night, but it's not bad.
Yeah. Well, it seems so when I'm seeing this, so I'm for one seeing the people with chainsaws celebrating Christmas. Celebrating Kringle is really honestly gets my gall a little bit. So I think I'm gonna try to so like, you know, I'm gonna start shaking the protesters and say, you're worried about the wrong tree. Like you're all worried about the wrong trees. And I want to try to rally this community because there's to sort of get people behind me, because people clearly know that there's an invasive forest.
Okay.
Right. So I think that this feels like get the community mad at get the community to get town hall to do something about the open hours.
Yeah,
forest.
if we can go into town hall with like a bunch of angry people with chainsaws behind us, then I feel like we're gonna get things done.
All right. I mean, unless you unless you want to use any special LJ stuff, that I'm gonna call that a rally attempt.
Yo, it's absolutely rally. This is a good old fashioned rally. And I've got a +1 with community. I'm gonna focus on them above the underbelly. Let's see how it goes. Ooh, not bad. 9. So I get to choose 2. You won't owe them a debt in return. They will do exactly as you asked. They will call upon additional resources from their faction. They will not back down in the face of resistance.
Ooh.
I want additional resources, and narratively, I want. This is where like what's smart and what I want come into conflict. Because I feel
go with
like
what you want.
Yeah, I think they will not back down in the face of resistance, and they will call upon additional resources from their faction. I think I'm fine owing them a little bit of a debt for this, for helping to save my house. And I also am curious what it would mean for them to not do exactly what I asked.
I'm worried.
It makes me. I'm too interested in that one to let it go. So I'm taking that everyone's going in hot. There is a yeah.
I'm worried that the group of people that you convinced to rally behind us is more concerned about the Christmas tree than anything else. That might be the cause.
You've incited a mob, but not necessarily to a specific purpose.
So just to make sure what I hear, I heard you say they won't back down and they will call on additional resources, and then that's right? So they immediately call on additional resources. The additional resources that they call on are right there. It's the underbelly element, and the punks also, like as So okay, this group is already protesting. They're holding signs made of, foam core or something, and the signs say
Real trees kill trees.
yeah, that's right. Yeah, exactly. And they
That's
say
amazing.
fake fake it till you make it. Kringle miss. I was gonna give it a year, but I refuse. This Kringle miss, fake it till you make it. Okay. So there's some
Why was
folks
the
who are
protest
like,
time so long?
I don't know.
It sounds like
Somebody-
it sounds like an ad for a new
Yeah.
series on Peacock.
And somebody does definitely have a sign
Incredible.
that says "Keep Blue Blue." So the folks that you convince first are like the sort of baristas of the crowd. There's the the college kids, but with them as well are the people protesting. There's the metal detectorists are there, and some of them have some of them are also
Yeah.
some of them are also metal or like tinfoil hat folks who are against the tree because they think it's like too much of a focal point of power, and so on. And so you whip this group up, and they're getting kind of loud and chanting, and the punks think that's really funny. So the punks also join, and the punks turn up their boom boxes really loud. So everything is, and before long, all the chants just turn into, no more trees, no more trees.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And one of the punks gets a hold of a chainsaw and starts chopping off some of the boughs of the trees of the main tree, the big tree, which also causes some electrical sparking and shortage as he cuts through the
Wire.
wire for the lights. The gulls that were on the tree as ornaments start to they start to caw and sass and fight back. So the gulls are at one point there is two gulls sort of like pecking at the hair of a punk with a chainsaw who's cutting through an electrical wire on the tree and cutting parts of it off. LJ, you lead a bunch of them though into City Hall. I want to check in with Coda and the Gulls. Where do you want to be for this as they all start to enter City Hall?
I don't think the gulls will go into City Hall through the front door. I think they are gonna be like perched in pretty much every window, and if there's like an illicit way to get in, they will go in that way because they don't go in front doors except for the coffee shop. But they do like to go in other ways.
Yeah. Right.
They just like to be where they're not expected.
Sounds good.
I mean, Coda wanted to be sort of at the front of this thing, but like, has it turned into a mob? Like, is this rioting?
It's
now?
a mob now. Yeah, it's a mob going on rioting. If you wanted to be in front of it, then I'm gonna say that you are in front of it. And in fact, now you don't want to be in front of it anymore, but you still are.
No, I don't.
And LJ, you're there too. You're leading this still, sort of. You feel very accomplished, and you're feeling very like, can you hear all the sounds of angry men or whatever? Like you're very fired up. You're really gonna enact some change.
Yeah. Can I? I think it's
yeah.
time to. I think I want to say what I saw. If it's a useful thing.
Sure.
Now. So as I'm doing this, I'm feeling good because the thing that I saw was in the daytime, a line of people lined up, arms linked, with the neighborhood behind them,
Uh-huh.
and the forest pushed back. They're the line of the forest, and people lined up against them, and a face-off between a long line of people and a long line of trees, and the people holding their ground.
That's
That's
really
what I saw.
good. It's really good. That's really good.
So
Okay, so you're
I
gonna
know I
get.
needed people on my side.
That's great. So now you're gonna get some bonuses as appropriate based on the rules. Yeah, everything is going according to plan.
Mhm.
And you're feeling actually very thrilled. I will say that there's a very thrilling feeling. You get the feeling that you are exactly where you're supposed to be, doing just what you're supposed to do. You notice something. You notice something, which is as you enter City Hall. This is your first time setting foot in City Hall. You're inside. So on the outside, it's just like a pretty small town hall, you know, like. But there's a bit of like a TARDIS effect where you walk in and you look up and you're in a massive rotunda, which is always a funny word, but you're in a massive rotunda and it arches high over you, and you know, it's painted and constructed in such a way that it has that sort of Eye of God effect where there's like a kind of a it looks from here like sort of a black jewel sort of circle up in the top that's always kind of looking at you no matter where you look. And from here in fanning off in different directions, you can see the different departments. And suffice it to say, there's many of these departments. So it's a bit maze-like, especially with all of the people kind of storming in behind you. As you reach the middle of this sort of circular area, people realize that they don't know where to go. They don't know where to direct their energies. So is there somewhere, LJ and Coda, I guess, what do you want to do? I mean, you could try and direct them to a certain place in here, or whatever else you think of. But right now you've got, I'd say that the energy of the people is sort of threatening to wane a little bit.
Mm.
But you haven't yet. It hasn't yet found
Directory.
Fountains of Wayne. Yeah, you don't have Fountains of Wayne yet.
Yeah, like that sounds good to me. I'm worried they're gonna find Mike Pence's office.
Oh,
I feel like we're in a real bad situation here.
no, because they're not angry at people. They're just still saying like, no more trees, no more trees. And these are still the people of Blue California. They're
Okay.
The energy here is one of intense intense moral certainty among the community, and then also among the metal detectorists there's the sense of, we can finally end this tyranny of the trees, not of the people. And then among the punks, they're just making a lot of noise and keeping everybody really hype. But it would be very unlikely that there'd be violence still.
Okay.
I guess it could go there, but it's not there.
We need to find Parks and
Okay.
Rec or something, right? All you've got is a
Yeah.
sign that says these are the hours.
Yeah. Does it have like a you know,
A contact
Department of the
symbol?
Interior, or like is there a department
So
written on the sign at all?
you do see a directory, but here's the problem, is that you're going into the heart of the bureaucracy with intentions that go against at least part of it. And
Okay.
when you see the directory, it's so long and so convoluted and with such small font, and just so everything's caps. It's all caps. You just find it very difficult to get a sense of anything. And as you're looking at it, you get the sense that this rotunda you're in is surrounded by an innumerable number of doorways. So you're definitely feeling lost. So what this is going to turn into is you I need your intentions, and then you're gonna have to roll to see if you can do what you want to do in here.
Clarifying question.
Yeah.
Since there are, since it's Krampfest,
Yeah.
and
Crabfest.
they celebrate by working late. Are there any like secretaries, like or people like at a front desk, or anyone like any employees visible immediately upon entry?
Yeah.
That's a good one. You can say that you want to try and find such a person. That is going to be, well,
Because we haven't seen anyone, right?
What
We haven't
are you
seen any
doing?
official members of the bureaucracy.
Yeah, does it seem like is
You
City
have
Hall
no-
empty?
okay, as you look around, I mean, it's, you get a sense, like, how to put this? Sometimes in Blue California, you are in certain places. I know how to phrase it. Remembering this time in this place feels sort of dreamlike to you later. So when you remember back on this, you won't recall just seeing any members of the bureaucracy around. And when you look back on it in your memory, you'll think that's a little weird. But right now, you definitely feel lost. And maybe it is the noise from all of the boom boxes and stuff, but things feel a little bit, connection to reality feels a little tenuous here. There's a little non-Euclideanism going on. If you want to find a secretary or someone who can help point the way, you can take a move to do that. And it's gonna take a move though. And you can make the case for whichever kind of move you want to do. You can come up with other stuff, but I guess what I'm saying is that the only thing you can do trivially at this point is leave.
Yeah.
Because of
sense.
this place. Yeah.
I want to find somebody. Absolutely, that's my goal. But I would say I am probably very swept up in the crowd right now because I've seen this possibility of the crowd's actions. So I don't know if Coda, if you're in a better position to actually track someone down, or a gull. I don't know if
Coda.
I think
I don't. Yeah, right. I don't know. Lee, tell me if I'm like way off base here because we live in Blue California and
Yeah.
I'm used to a certain amount of sort of like weird stuff going on. But I have in my possession like physical evidence that City Hall is responsible for managing the trees. And I think Coda on some level can't believe that there's not a person behind that, right? Like it comes down to people in the end. So I think Coda is determined to find this person that he can talk to about these trees.
Okay, I'll give you some options for that. One is you could hold up the signage that you're holding and you could hold it up next to the directory and really try to figure that out, make a connection there. You could also try to find some sort of secretary or some sort of person whose job it is to help you out or give you some direction. You could also, I guess, you could always try a hallway, and then anything else you think of or whatever Coda would do.
My stats, here's the thing about Coda. I think that he thinks he's better with people than he actually is.
Okay.
Like he's not bad with people, but his stats do not back up the proposition that he's good with people. But I think of him as sort of like good with people. So I think he's going to look for somebody who can help. Like, I think that is his go-to when he's in a situation where he doesn't know what's going on, where he's overwhelmed, where he's lost, or he's surrounded by the unfamiliar. His instinct is, well, surely there's somebody around here who can be chill and like
Yeah.
help a dude out, right? Like,
I mean, I also think that like Coda can still be good with people, maybe just not like maybe he just doesn't fulfill a lot of goals through working with people.
right.
You know?
Right. Yeah.
Maybe he's too chill.
Yeah, I think that could be. He is too chill for other people
Okay.
to take him seriously. But I think that's what he wants to do. He wants to find somebody, whether that is like, a secretary or somebody in the administrative workforce, or a janitor, or like anybody who works here who he feels like I mean they could tell me where to go about this sign. Like,
Okay.
surely people around here know.
Cool. So I'm gonna call that either assess reality or we could skip straight to sway. We could just, and again, like usually in a game like this, we don't try to just pick from a menu of moves, but in this case it's like we're kind of building this space
let me
as we
ask
go.
you, like, are there people around? Like, is there somebody that I could walk up to and try to sway them, or are the corridors of power empty?
I guess I do need to give you an answer.
That?
Guess I do have to give you an. Yeah, the roll's gonna. So the thing about this place is it's a bit hazy for me as a GM. So I think the rolls are going to determine that, the move and the roll. But I think to just pick something, what I want to ask you first is there something on your character sheet? Is there a move on your character sheet that calls out to you? Otherwise, I can craft a way forward from the standard moves.
No, I don't. I don't think that Coda's in a position where he's gonna like entreat the horrific presence in his mind for help in the situation. That doesn't feel right to me. So yeah, I think I think he just wants to do this.
Got it.
Oh, I actually have a good idea of how we could find a person.
Okay.
Do the gulls see any people in any of the windows?
Oh, that's pretty fucking good. I want to allow you to do that to help Coda.
Okay.
I guess that's going to be a bit.
You would.
Was it?
Normally, you would burn essence as part of that.
Oh, to assist?
Do you? Can you assist after the initial roll?
I think you do it before.
So.
I think you decide.
So you have to do it before. Let's set aside the birds for now. Coda, you find somebody.
Yeah.
You and it's almost like, whoa, you like kind of like run into the desk. You hip check the desk because you're like, I guess I didn't see you there. This is a weird place. And there's a desk and there's a sort of, oh god, how do I describe this person? She's you don't know what her job title is exactly, but she seems to be like, it's like an information desk. Like, she looks eager to talk to you as if she's expecting people to talk to her because that's her job. She is she's a young woman, somewhere in her 20s.
I'm looking for.
Yeah, exactly. And she's got like a sort of blue, just super basic kind of suit on, you know? Like, like and just her demeanor and her body language suggests that she's like, this is someone who's low on the rungs of the ladder
Does she have
here.
a name tag?
That's a good question. Yeah, her name tag says Inez.
Okay.
And then I don't know if she has a last name on the name tag. Yeah, because it's a bureaucracy, they definitely have like her last name is
Inez Minas.
Oh.
Minas. No.
This is a real human. This is a real human we're inventing. Carlisle. Inez Carlisle. Oh god. And what do I have to do as a GM? I have to give every character. It's like I have to give every character an agenda. Well, her agenda is very clear to me, and probably also to you. Like, she just wants to do a good job, and because then she can, you know, get better jobs here at City Hall. So she looks up at you and says, "Oh, hi. It seems like a really extra exciting sort of Kringleness out there today." And she doesn't look super happy about that.
I know, isn't it?
Yeah.
Hi, Inez. I'm Coda. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
Can you
Go ahead.
can you help me out? I am looking for whoever is in charge of the trees. And then I kind of like I hold up my sign helpfully.
Yeah. She sees the sign. Oh my god. Okay, she sees the sign and you see like terror for a moment on her face.
Okay.
And then she collects herself and says, oh gosh, well, unfortunately I don't think I can, because we're closed, except, oh, I guess we're still open because it's, yeah, you know, I'd love to help you with that, but I'm not sure. I don't think I'm going to be able to do that for you right now with that. You may want to check back in 3 to 5 business days.
What's going to happen in 3 to 5 business days?
That's when we will be able to start to focus more resources to resource the answers to your questions on that regard.
I don't need resources. I don't need resources. I just want to talk to whoever's in charge.
But the resources that we provide will be used to resource our responses to the questions that you're bringing from your side of the table, because as it is today, there's we've definitely the bottom line and she loses it. Like she's like, and suddenly you feel a bit of it's like, like you feel like you woke up from something and you realize that she's not great at the sort of bureaumancy that is wielded here. She is a neophyte. I would love for you to sway her.
I can attempt that. Cool. Let's see how it goes. I have 0 sway or 0 in chic.
That's right.
So I got a 6.
Ooh.
Okay. On a miss, you might offend or scare them, tarnish your reputation, or make a rival. Okay. Oh God. She says, sorry, I'm not properly resourced for this authorized. Yeah, she says it, authorized conversation. She like stands up, puts like a little tent sign on that says, you know, back in 5 business minutes, and she quickly, not scurries, she fast walks to the opening of one of the hallways, and there you see her talk to someone as if to say, it's almost like going to get her manager. And then they both turn to look. Then they both turn to look at you.
What I want is to talk to her manager, so
Yeah.
I'm gonna go over and talk to her manager.
Okay, you go over to talk to her manager, who looks over at you, and you notice that he's wearing the most tasteful red and green with also some blue Kringlemas fedora you've ever seen. And he smiles as he sees you. And you see a gleam in his eye.
Do I recognize him as Fedora Guy?
He is 100% Fedora Guy, and you are standing right next to him in the seat of power of the bureaucracy. And that's where we're going to leave it for tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Okay. Blue California, episode 2. Arbor Day.
Just one more.
Yeah.
Is he pulling off the fedora? I know he is.
Oh, he's always pulling it off. Thank you.
Damn.
There it is.
Let's see where it goes.
Yeah. Again, no outro music tonight, but you can just imagine it. I think I can hook you up with some of this though.
Be the waves.
Yeah, I think we can do the waves.
Are we still recording?
We're still. Oh yeah, I'm gonna mute you all.
Okay.
I'm muting you. Now I'm gonna talk to the people. Thank you so much for watching Blue California tonight, episode 2, Arbor Day, Kringlemas. So Blue California is we're gonna take a Kringlemas break until January. But it's going to be showing... Blue California is going to be the first, third, and sometimes fifth Wednesday of every month. You can remember that because it's the odd Wednesdays. Well, maybe don't remember that. It's not the odd dates, it's the odd, weeks. And it's always going to be 8 o'clock p.m. to 10 o'clock p.m. And then Pacific, which you can remember because of the ocean. The other weeks, which is the second and the fourth weeks of each month, is going to be Nugget Club. That's going to be 6:30 to 8 o'clock-ish. That's where I live riff movies I haven't seen before and try to make them funny, and you can see my mind melt. Oh yeah, here's a visual aid. There you go. See? Blue California, Nugget Club. Take a screenshot. It's going away. You can also see those on my Twitch. And then I also need to plug this. I'm building my coaching and consulting line of business. If you're a creative professional or just an amateur who's passionate, I can help unblock and bring joy to your creative life. I'm also available for project consulting. So for that, if you've got a creative project, I can bring actionable creative insights and process to it. So you can go to leegrainer.com and book a free consult and spend half an hour. We can get to know each other and talk about working together. Once again, this has been so good. Thank you so much for watching and joining us here for Blue California. That is Blue California, over and out.